Good evening. Welcome to Lyceum Preschool's virtual open house. We would like to extend a warm welcome to all of the participants this evening. This is our first annual open house on virtual Zoom. This time last year, we were taking people around unmasked in groups, and this year we're doing it quite different. But we are hopeful that you will be able to capture how wonderful Lyceum is through. So we want to welcome all of you. Our hope is that by the end of our presentation, you will have a solid understanding of our program here at Lyceum Preschool. And will know that our team is determined to give every student that walks through our doors the best preschool experience. We will have a question and answer segment at the end, and we appreciate your support by keeping your microphones on mute and your cameras turned on.
And good evening. I just want to make an announcement. My name is Sherry Bucci. I'm here to support this presentation, and there are people with their cameras off. And so I've sent messages to you to show your picture. If you don't show your picture, for security reasons, I will have to remove you. This is an event that is a public event. Everyone should have registered. There are a few people who haven't. And for security reasons, we do need you to show your face. We have little people that may be joining this meeting, and it needs to be secure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bucci. So welcome to our Lyceum Preschool team. We are a small team here at Lyceum Preschool. My name is Sarah Brown. I'm the administrator. A little bit about myself. I am in my 21st year of public education, 16 of which have been here in Bermuda. I started out as a kindergarten teacher in Orlando, Florida. And upon arriving in Bermuda in 2004, I was at the Victor Scott Primary School teaching P1, P2, and P3. Then I had the wonderful opportunity of being a mentor teacher for the Department of Education for 3 years. And now I've been here at Lyceum Preschool for the last 6 years. Again, I am the administrator, so I run the school, but I also am in classrooms working with children all day. I am a teacher by nature, and I spend a lot of time with the kids. I enjoy our students so much. So I look forward to meeting all of you in person very soon. I'd like to pass it over to Ms. Carol Trott, who will introduce herself.
Well, good evening, everyone. Carol Trott. I am born and raised in Hamilton Parish. I live here still, and I've been at Lyceum for the last 20 years. So I know quite a lot of the children and their parents, and I'm looking forward to another year at Lyceum.
Thank you, Carol. And next we have Patrice Simons.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Patrice Simons. I'm a teacher here at Lyceum Preschool. I have been employed by the Ministry of Education for the past 21 years. Prior to this post, I began my career as a learning support teacher at Southampton Glebe. I examined their prior knowledge with an assessment, and I just build on their knowledge, providing differentiated instruction to meet their individual needs. I'm passionate about education and their overall development.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Simons. And last but not least, we have our fourth teacher, that's Ms. Wilson Trott.
Good evening, parents. My name is Shawnee Wilson Trott. I have been with the Ministry of Education for 5 years. Prior to working with the Ministry of Education, I worked at Happy Valley Daycare Center. I have been a teacher at St. George's Preschool for 2 years, Warwick Preschool for 1 year, and this is my 2nd year at Lyceum Preschool.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wilson Trott. So this is us. This is the 4 of us. This is our main team here at Lyceum Preschool. Between the 4 of us, we have almost 70 years experience working with some of the youngest learners. And so I consider our team to be very strong and very dynamic. We also have an extension to our team. We have our support team. And on this meeting, we have our school counselor who's going to come on and say a few words, Mrs. Melvina Warren.
Good evening, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Yeah? Okay. I see a little mistake in my name. It's Malvina, Melvina, but that's okay. My name is Malvina Warren. I have been working for the ministry. I'm going into my 19th year. So I started off at Delwood Middle School and I completed 2 years there. And then I went to T and Tatum Middle School. Initially, it was called Spice Valley Middle School when I was there. And then it changed to T and Tatum Middle School. And I was there for 11 years. And then I moved on. I felt it was time for me to go to the primary school level. So I moved down to Paget Primary, and I was there for 5 years. So this year is my first year working with the preschoolers and my first year at Francis Patton. So I'm split between Francis Patton and Lyceum Preschool. So I look forward to working with the little ones. I love getting down on their level and playing and have fun with them. So I look forward to also meeting with the parents and working with the parents.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Warren. We also have a dedicated learning support teacher for preschool. For our school, it's Miss Zalika Millett. She spends approximately one full day every week working with children who need extra support. And she breaks her time up over 2 days. So we have her for an AM and a PM. Miss Millett is very well versed in helping children who have learning challenges and special needs. And she's a wonderful resource to have on staff. We also have an educational therapist that's dedicated to preschools as well. Her name is Miss Deshawn Doors. Miss Doors, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Deshawn Doors, and I am the educational therapist at Lyceum Preschool. I work with all the students who support their continuous development through whole class social emotional strengthening. And for those who may experience behavior challenges beyond the scope of the typical classroom management techniques, I also provide individual or small group behavior support and interventions. I'm a former classroom teacher, and I've spent over 2 decades working with students in the public school sector. And should your child be fortunate enough to attend Lyceum Preschool, I will continue to support them to be successful during these formative years. Well,
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Doors. So that is our support team. We also have several Department of Health service providers that include speech and language, physical therapy, occupational therapy, also vision and hearing support if needed. If your child has not yet had their 2-year-old screening at CDP, it's not too late. I do highly recommend that every child who's entering the Bermuda public school system as a preschooler have the opportunity to go through that screening. That screening is often the first chance that we get to recognize if a child may potentially have a learning difficulty or a challenge. It's an excellent screening process, and you really get some great insight on your child. So if you want to learn more about that, I suggest you contact CDP. You can also call myself and I'll give you that information at the end of the presentation. So where is Lyceum Preschool? I get calls all the time. Where are you located? We are located on 191 North Shore Road. Some people call it Crawl, some people call it Bay, but we are located just underneath Francis Patton Primary School. So in order to get to our school, if you're traveling east on North Shore Road, you would actually pull right into the Francis Patton gates. And as soon as you turn into the gates, you make an immediate left and go down a really sharp hill down to a big open parking lot. And let me move to the next slide so you can see. We have lots of outdoor space at our preschool. Now, prior to Lyceum Preschool, we've only been in this location now 10 years. Prior, Lyceum Preschool was over on Wilkinson Avenue. And one of the reasons for moving was that the children definitely needed more outdoor space, especially as the preschool population was growing in size. So we have now been at this new location, which is again underneath Francis Patton in the old infant wing of Francis Patton Primary School for the last 10 years. So in these pictures, you will see we have several different outdoor spaces. The top left corner is a small playground that's dedicated and made appropriate for preschool age children. We also, underneath that picture, you'll see we have a lovely large field, which we share with the Francis Patton Primary School. We also have this fantastic parking lot that is paved and smooth, which is wonderful for our students who are learning how to ride bikes and play on scooters and play ball games. It's an excellent space for them to use. And then we also have access to the large playground, which is actually the Francis Patton playground. But because our playtimes are different, we have access to that playground during the school day. So as you can see, we have a lot of really great outdoor space. A part of our school improvement plan is that we ensure that our children get at least 90 minutes of outside time each day. Now, that doesn't mean they just go and play on the playground for 90 minutes. Some of the play is unstructured. It might just be playing on the playground, but then we also have lots of time where the children are learning how to use large motor skills by playing games, playing ball, tossing bean bags, and using hula hoops. So we spend a lot of time working with children outside. We know naturally children love to be outside. So we make sure that for our fruit time in the morning and our lunchtime at noontime, that we eat outside. So as you can see in the bottom two pictures, we have a beautiful courtyard area with lovely picnic tables that the children can eat at. We have lovely market umbrellas that we can put up if it gets hot. And again, it just gives the children a lot of time to be outside, which is where they want to be. So again, our goal every day, today was a little tricky with the rain, but is to have a minimum of 90 minutes each day. And some days we get beyond that, which is wonderful. Even with COVID, because we have so many different outdoor spaces, there's plenty of room for all of our bubbles to be able to go out and be in different spaces and not mess up the whole bubbles in the COVID situation. So we've got lots of outdoor space. We get lots of time outside. As you guys are aware, just like anywhere, we do have new entry procedures. Entry to exit procedures would be something that I would go over in parent orientation if you do register for Lyceum. So I'm not going to go into that tonight, but this is some pictures of just our school entrance. And on the far left, you can see that our school has a lovely gate. That gate remains closed during the school day for safety reasons, and it is open for arrival and dismissal. So if someone arrives during the time it's not arrival or dismissal, you would simply call the phone number that's on the sign and I'd come out and let you in. Right now, unfortunately, due to COVID, it's just children, students, and staff that are allowed in the physical building. But parents are welcome to come through the gate, up the stairs, and into the courtyard because it's outdoors. But as far as indoors, it is just children and staff at this moment. So welcome to our indoor part of our school. This is the main hallway. The main hallway runs the length of the building. We have 4 classrooms as well as a beautiful office space. So one of our things that we do every year, we know our children are very attached to their families. So you can see in the middle picture here, we have a board that will always be there with the children's collages of their families. It's a great way for the children to be able to see their own family, but see each other's families. And it definitely makes the kids feel good when they can go through this hallway and see their families on the boards. That's something we do every year. Going forward, we also have special bathrooms that are designed just for young people. When I arrived at Lyceum 6 years ago, the bathrooms were not something that I enjoyed taking people to see on our tour. The toilets were too tall, the sinks were too tall, the doors were too loud. And so 3 years ago, we had a complete renovation of our boy and girls bathroom at Lyceum. So now the girls have 4 stalls that are appropriate for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. The sinks are low, the soap dispensers are low. Everything is appropriate for young children. Ultra clean, ultra modern, really, really nice bathrooms. We also have the benefit of having really large classrooms at Lyceum Preschool. Previously, it was an infant department for P1 and P2. So the classrooms were naturally made for P1 and P2 students, but that has really been a benefit for our classrooms because our kids have a lot of space to move around, which is very helpful. So we definitely enjoy having the space. Each classroom has enough space for 10 students and a teacher. So currently right now at Lyceum, we have 3 classes of 10 and the 3 classroom teachers. So those are our classrooms. Because our class size is only 10, the teachers get a lot of one-on-one time to work with the children. And in the top left-hand corner picture, you can see Miss Warren. She's working with some students on their fine motor, putting the pegs into the pegboard. And then in the bottom picture, you see Mrs. Trott working one-on-one with one of her students. And in the top corner, you see Miss Millett, our learning support teacher, working with one of her students. So again, the teachers get a lot of one-on-one time because we have such small class size, which is excellent. We also have a school office, and this year we have a beautiful bottle filling station. So if you look at the bottom right-hand picture, it looks like a water fountain, but there's no more button where you can reach down and have a drink. Now children bring a reusable water bottle and use the refillable water station. The kids really love using it. It's a good time. I think kids drink a lot more water now that they know that they can take their bottle to get it refilled at the water filling station. So that's a great thing. But so that's new for this year. And then we also have what I call an isolation area. And it's actually a really well thought out thing that if a child were to fall ill during the school day, we now have a special space where they can go that's completely isolated from the rest of the school. So moving on, what does our school day look like? Well, the children have a very busy day from the moment they arrive to the moment they leave. So our school day runs from 8:30 to 3. We do currently have a before school program, which runs from 8 to 8:30. And then we have 2 different after school options, which I'll share with you in just a moment. So when the children arrive, they come into the class and they go into probably one of their favorite parts of the day, which is their free choice inquiry center time, when they can choose something that they want to play with or to sit and play with a friend. And at around 9 o'clock, the teacher has them clean up and they have a welcome circle, which is often a calendar time and a morning meeting time. And then after that, the teacher will give small group instruction and specialized learning instruction. And then they break for fruit around 10 o'clock. Again, that's an outside time if the weather's nice. And then they come back in and have about another 45 minutes of specialized learning, both in large and small groups. Our outside playtime goes from about 11 to 12:30. Again, because of COVID, we staggered the lunches. Before we ate all together as a school of 30, and now we just eat in groups of 10. So we stagger the lunches and stagger the playtimes. When the children come back in from lunch, it's then time for a story, kind of a wind down period, make sure they go to the bathroom. And then we have a quiet nap time from about 1 to 2. And then when they wake up from nap, again, we have about another 45 minutes of specialized learning, which will include a daily wrap up. And then approximately 2:45 to 3 o'clock, the students dismiss from the school. I mentioned earlier, we do have 2 after-school options this year, one of which is the Department of Youth and Sports has offered 8 spaces in their program that's housed at Francis Patton Primary. The program that is by Youth and Sport is that particular class is just for preschoolers. So it's not that Lyceum preschool mixes with P1s to P6s. It's that Lyceum preschool, the 8 kids come from the preschool, but they go up to Francis Patton physically, but they stay in their preschool bubble. We also have a service, a van service that comes at 3 o'clock to pick up the children and take them into town to a location. It's called the Destiny After School Service. It's a very affordable service. It's approximately about $10 a day. And for parents that work in town, they really appreciate that after school program because it allows them to not have to race back to crawl to pick up by 5:30. So it makes it easier for parents who work in town. So at Lyceum Preschool, we use the creative curriculum. This is an excellent curriculum. We've been using it for over 10 years as a government preschool program. The curriculum is something that we will go over again during parent orientation. I did just want to show you this main slide just to give you an idea of the types of things that we'll be working on. But this is a slide that shows the 36 objectives that we cover throughout this preschool year. And again, the great thing about the creative curriculum is it meets the child where they're at, and it's a thematic curriculum. So every approximately 4 to 6 weeks, the study changes. So right now we're doing clothes, and that will end in a few weeks, and we'll start the pet study when the children come back from February break. So we have lots of different studies, and they use investigations and inquiry and questions of the day, and it's an excellent curriculum. All of our teachers have had extensive training in the creative curriculum, very well versed in it, and so they deliver it really well. We also have a social emotional program called OWL's Pals. It's a comprehensive program that helps the children to develop social emotional skills and self-confidence, problem solving, and decision making. So it's a puppet program where the children, the teacher puts on about 2 times a week, along with the assistance of the school counselor, some small lessons that are about 15 minutes long. And the three puppets are Keisha, Ty, and Al. And the children grow very fond of these characters. So as a parent of Lyceum preschool child, you will get to know Al and his pals really well. So that is toward the end of our presentation. I'm looking at the clock and it's 5:51. So I want to speak real quickly on registration and the process. So registration this year will be done differently. It will be done entirely online. The Department of Education will be utilizing the PowerSchool online enrollment to ensure a secure platform so parents can securely enter their child's information. This new online registration process will require both new parents and current parents to have a PowerSchool account. Registration starts 1 week from today. I currently have my son here at Lyceum Preschool, and I will be registering him for Government Primary 1. So next Tuesday, I will be ready to do the registration process as well. So one thing that you could do tonight, even though registration doesn't start for a week, is to go ahead and look for a copy of your Belco bill and also your child's birth certificate. And it would be very helpful to go ahead and get those 2 documents scanned, either onto a USB or have someone scan them for you and email them to you as documents, because when you go to register your child next week, Tuesday, 2 of the items that they're going to ask for are these 2 items, which is your child's birth certificate if they're Bermudian. If they're non-Bermudian, you're going to probably have to provide some extra documentation, which I'm going to give you a person to contact if you have questions about that in just a second. And then also you're going to have to prove your address. Now, if you're registering for Lyceum Preschool located in Hamilton Parish, we do receive applications. It's based on where you live. And for Lyceum Preschool, we receive applications from both Hamilton Parish and Smiths Parish. So the link that you're going to need to use will be posted on the Bermuda Public School Facebook page, as well as the Ministry of Education's website. So if you go to www.moed.bm, you will see the links. However, currently they're closed and they won't open until 12:01 on next Tuesday the 2nd. So just again, get these 2 documents ready to go, scanned, so that you can add them to your child's application. One unique feature of doing the registration online this way is parents will have an account that they can, if they need to start the application and go back and add to it, they will have that ability to do so. Okay, so if you need to contact us, here is our information. At the top is mine, Sarah Brown at MOED. If you have questions about registration, Miss Jacqueline Eve is the person, she's the attendance officer. There is her email. And I also put on here Mrs. Carmelita Trott. She could give you any advice that you may have if you have concerns, if you think your child has special learning needs or they've already been identified as having special learning needs. You definitely want to send her an email, give her a heads up. Okay, so I want to thank you for taking the time to attend our school's open house, and we are happy to answer any questions that you may have. I would like for you to take the time to answer and complete a survey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and sorry, let's see. And in the chat, I'm going to put a link. So let me put it here. And does everyone see the link? Give me a thumbs up if you see the link in the chat. Great, wonderful. All right, so if everyone who attended tonight's presentation, if you're an interested parent, I would really appreciate you taking just 2 minutes to fill out. All you have to do is click right on the link at the end of this presentation, and that will be a great way for me to get feedback from you and get your contact information. So we just have a few minutes. If any of you have burning questions you'd like to ask, feel free to unmute yourself and ask away.
Hi, I have one question. Hi, how are you, Sarah?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I have a child at Warwick and St, and she has a Power School account already. Can I use that to sign up or register for my other child? Can I use the same account?
We have Ms. Eve on with us this evening. Ms. Eve, would you please take that question for us?
Good evening, all. Just a little bit of clarity in regards to Power School parent portal accounts. It is separate. What we do, every parent, once you do become a parent of the Bermuda public school system, will be eligible for a parent portal account. But what we do is ask for you need a valid email address in order to sign up. So it is a little bit different, Ms. Strobel, in regards to that. So you're not actually going to sign into your parent portal account, but your email address that is attached.
Yes.
We use that email to send you different correspondence through the summer, like when it was COVID, anything like that. So we'll be using the same. It's important that you possibly use the same email address the whole way through, just for consistency.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
So the link, I think the link is possibly posted somewhere by now. I can put the link in the chat. However, I will keep it closed. It was open today, and I got a few, some people kind of sneaked in because today started middle school and senior school registration. So I will maintain it being closed. Just to reiterate, it is not first come, first serve. Additionally, it is not a submission of an application also does not guarantee a placement. Okay, I see a number, it's like 51 persons on here. So I hope that the 51 persons are not all enrollees of Lyceum, because I will have to turn the majority of you away. So be encouraged, please submit your applications, make sure you do have the appropriate documentation, and please submit it on time. Any late applications, I will not look at. Any incomplete applications, I will not look at. And your children must be toilet trained. And as stressed before, it should be recommended that they also complete the two-year-old screening from CDP.
Thank you for mentioning that, Ms. Eve, about the toilet training. One of the parents in the registration process asked about that their child wasn't fully potty trained yet. So the good news is it's January and we're talking about September. So I highly recommend start now so that they've solidified that skill, okay? So you don't want to get to this July, August, and you're still in the same space, right, as you are now. So just make sure you work on those potty training skills. They do need to be fully potty trained to attend Lyceum Preschool. Any other questions?
There's some questions in the chat, Sarah.
Oh, okay. How does the department select children for a particular school? So again, for Lyceum Preschool, it is based on your home address. And the qualifying factor is that your child turns 4 in 2017. So currently we do not accept 3-year-olds that will not be turning 4 in 2021. I'm sorry. So make sure that your child is the right age and that they live in Hamilton Parish. And again, the toilet training is very important. So once you have a complete application, the department will notify parents, and the goal is to be notified by May that whether your child has a spot. And so that's how many spaces are available. That has yet to be determined. However, we currently have 30 spaces at Lyceum, and for the last 6 years, it's been 30 spaces. See if there's any other questions. Anybody else want to chime in and ask a question? I'm looking through here to see. I see that my link has come on now, which is good. I'll put it one more time in the chat for everybody. There we go. And then Miss Eve has also put in a link to register for new applicants. Okay. So great to see so many faces. I'm so excited. This is a much bigger participation than we would have had in normal years. So this is fantastic. Any other questions? Well, I want to say thank you so much. We are a wonderful school. Lyceum Preschool has a wonderful reputation and a very loving staff. We're a very proud school and we offer an excellent program. So I do look forward to hopefully seeing most of you and seeing your name on the Lyceum Preschool list for September 2021. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you, Ms. Brown and team. At this time, we will have a brief, we're ready to start the next meeting presentation, open house for Warwick Preschool. We will need a minute to switch gears. Those of you that are not interested in Warwick Preschool, basically because you don't live in Warwick Parish and you're not eligible, we'd ask you to leave now. And those that are on for Warwick, please stay on. Give us a minute to get the presentation up. And I'm going to ask you all to keep your cameras on. So if you don't have your camera on, I have been sending messages to individuals so that they know to turn their camera on. I have put people in the waiting room. Galaxy Note 4, you need to rename yourself, please. I will put you back into the waiting room until you are named. And Simmons, please put your camera on, or otherwise we'll have to put you in the waiting room. And Ms. Robinson, it's a security. We are not to let anyone into our open houses without their cameras on. So if you have a picture up, please have your camera running. Otherwise, for security reasons, we have had some experiences that we don't want to be repeated. We have some young children on watching, and it's not only for you and for us, but we're protecting our children.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about us interested in what's going on in your home, but we need to know who's on here, and we are recording, and we want to know whose space is there. So my name is Sherry Bucci. I'm welcoming you. We're ready for you, but if you aren't able to follow those instructions, you will not be able to stay. I was hoping that I could let people in, and if they didn't quite understand, they would be able to hear the message other than me typing it to them. So Ms. Rayner, the preschool administrator at Warwick Preschool, will be happy to have you put up your presentation, and I will go back to monitoring the participants. Enjoy.
Good evening to the listening audience. Is everyone on for Warwick Preschool?
We have a few more people that are being admitted.
Can you all see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
I just want to say the application that was sent is not working. For the new applicants, it's not working.
No, it will not work until, Ms. Eve, are you still on?
Application will not be open until 12:01
On February
on
the
February
2nd.
the 2nd. And that's for a reason.
Okay, Lord, let me write that down.
Let me know when I can start, please.
I have 6 people in the waiting room, but you can get started. And thank you everyone for joining us.
Good evening to the listening audience. Welcome to Warwick Preschools.
Good evening, Ms. Rayner.
How are you all doing?
Wonderful.
Welcome to Warwick Preschool's open house. My name is Sharice Rayner, as I just mentioned. I'd like to take this opportunity for us to pause and we can read our shared vision together. At Warwick Preschool, we will provide a safe, nurturing, and stimulating environment which encourages risk-taking, problem-solving, exploration, and the development of the whole child. Each member of the Warwick Preschool community will be valued, and we will celebrate our similarities and our differences while fostering self-esteem, self-confidence, and respect for self and others. At Warwick Preschool, we will play, have fun, and be happy in an environment conducive to learning. At this time, I just want to take the opportunity to share our objective for this evening. You are going to be able to explore a day in life at Warwick Preschool where winning is all the way. And as I always mention to my staff and my children when they get out of the car each morning, that Warwick Preschool is the best place to be on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I just want to take a few minutes to share a bit about myself. And as I reflected last evening, I had to do the math because I cannot believe that I have been in this public school system for 30 years. I started as a primary school teacher, then I went on to do learning support, then I went on, I did reading recovery for a few years, and then I was in ed at Paget Primary School, and then they sent me off to do mentoring, which I loved for 5 years. And believe it or not, the last 8 years, I have been a school leader at as a preschool administrator. This is actually my first year here at Warwick Preschool. And I'm sure you're all familiar with the saying, if you are doing what you love, you've never worked a day in your life. So I love it here. And I enjoy what I do. At this time, I'm just going to take a minute to introduce my team. I shouldn't say my team a minute because it's going to take a while, but I have a dynamic team of teachers that I work with. I have Janaea Berkeley, and she is the facilitator of the Berkeley's Bears. She is the lead teacher for our Gross Motor Thursdays and Music and Movement, which we call Fabulous Fridays. Next, we have Ms. Bartley. She is a veteran teacher for us here at Warwick Preschool. And believe it or not, she keeps us on our toes in reference to the COVID-19 rules. We have to make sure we have our masks up at all times and adhere to being in the bubble. And for the students that are in her class, I can say that she is very bubbly and very, very compassionate and very animated with her students. Next, we have Linnell Simons. She is one of the lead teachers of the Simon Soaker Sizzlers. And believe it or not, the children came up with that name because they enjoy doing a lot of music and movement and learning in a fun way. She is a compassionate person who loves to see her children smile. Next, we have Ms. Kraft. Ms. Kraft is in charge of the Cool Cats. And as you can see her smile there, she is very calm, cool, and collected. So that name fits Miss Marsha Hurst Marsha Kraft very well. Next, we have Miss Natasha Hurst. She's in charge of the Honey Bears. It's called Hurst's Honey Bears. And as I walk past her class, I can hear her always saying, my boy or my girl, meaning that all children are winners. Next, we have Miss Burrows, and she works with the 3-year-olds in the Bright Star program. And when I see Miss Burrows in her class, I think of Burrows butterflies. She is always very happy. And while sitting in her class, I can see where she always integrates Bermuda history. So those little ones at the age of 3 are learning a lot about what takes place in Bermuda. Next, we have Ms. Shauna Muhammad. I'm sure most of you know her. She is the owner of Learning World up in Sands. So if you need any extra activities for your students, you can always go up to Learning World, which is near Maxi Mart in Sands Parish. But Ms. Muhammad, we call her Muhammad's monarch. She loves butterflies. And when sitting in her class and observing and going in to just have some fun, it's just the children are always creative and very, very happy. Next, we have Ms. Durant, and she came to us. When I see Ms. Durant, I say, you helped us to survive. She came to our rescue during this COVID period, and she is just here to assist in any way and making sure that the teachers have their wellness breaks. And believe it or not, because she's a veteran teacher, she goes in and helps with the Owls Pals, which I will talk to you about in a few minutes, and the Haggerty program. Next, on my right, we have, and next to Mr. Rent, we have Michelle Furbit. She is actually sitting here with me right now, making sure that everything runs smoothly. So thank you very much, Ms. Burbett. She is responsible for a student here at Warwick Preschool, and she helps out in every way that she can. Next, we have Ms. Tammy Harvey. She is the teacher assistant at the Bright Stars, and I'm just so thankful for her. This morning, she actually came in and gave me a Bible verse, Psalms 23, I believe it was, and I played it just before it came on air. So thank you, Ms. Harvey, and thanks for all that you do. Next, we have our support staff. And the support staff, they come in at least once or twice a week. All of them have their special areas that they work with the children with. And they just give, they put the icing on the cake here at Warwick Preschool, if I can say. They come in bubbly and eager to work. We also this year have Miss Sheena Smith. She is the day cleaner. She comes in and makes sure everything is disinfected. And I can actually say that this school is squeaky clean. We have Mr. Bashir that comes in at night and goes over and does a very good job as well. So that is the team of Warwick Preschool. We are all a hard team at work. Next, I'm not going to go in depth. I want you to be able to visually see what our schedule looks like here at Warwick Preschool. But the children arrive at 8:30. They leave at 3 p.m. And before they leave, they have to share with their teacher what they have learned during the day. So it's a fun-filled day that we have here at Warwick Preschool. These are the gates of Warwick Preschool, the entrance, I should say. And as you can see, it's a gumbe on the front. And as you know, gumbe is all different, and so are children. And our goal here at Warwick Preschool is to ensure that we meet the individual needs of our students, okay? Whatever learning style that they have. Okay, we have, this is our COVID procedure in the morning, and believe it or not, the children know exactly what they have to do. They have their hands out ready to exit. Once the children come into the foyer, they come in, they take the mask off, put it in their Ziploc bags, and immediately go to the sink to wash up. And this is our foyer. And believe it or not, the children are able to govern themselves accordingly now. They know where their names are, etc. At Warwick Preschool and all the Bermuda government preschools, we follow the creative curriculum, and it is a research-based program that we leave no stone unturned, okay? So in the morning when your children come in, they are able to participate in one of these areas. And as I go through this presentation for you, you will be able to see firsthand what we do. I want you to just take a minute to think of the compass, north, south, east, and west. North, south, east, and west. And you will remember the inquiry framework that takes place at the preschools. So notice will be for north, and we make sure we engage these children. West is wander. We ask questions. East is for explore. We make sure they're able to investigate. And last but not least, you might think of south, and that's sharing. The children at the school, at the preschool, always feel that they are able to take risks and feel comfortable. And I find that once you build a relationship with the child, it's no room for error. So that is our goal here at Warwick Preschool. We want to make sure that the children are curious, engaged, and be able to ask questions. And the main goal of the teachers here is to make sure that they're asking questions to be able to move your child forward. So when your child comes to Warwick Preschool, the conversations we will have with you is what we are doing and the next steps that we are putting in place for your child. Please, please remember, the team is going to remind me to give you this booklet. It's a parent guide to preschool. You can keep this booklet as a Bible for yourself for the year. It has everything in there that you need to know about preschool, a parent's guide to preschool. And this all goes hand in hand with the creative curriculum that we use here. Okay, now to the fun part. These are the individual bins that the children are able to engage in every day. In each bin, they would have activities for, I see Mr. Silva online there and her little one. They would have activities just for your daughter, Mr. Silva, just for your daughter, Miss Deal. Anything that they need to in order to spark their interest. Next, you'll see a little boy, and he is doing an observational drawing based on the exercise study. And he actually said he's drawing a picture of he and his mother because they had just finished doing their run. Every day we have a different question. During the exercise study, the question, what exercise do you like best? And the children, believe it or not, they are so eager and engaged at all times. And you can see shared writing can take place as early as 2, 3, and 4 years old. Here we have a small group, the children working independently on a cut and paste activity, and a young boy, he is doing a journal entry. These activities take place on a regular basis at Warwick Preschool. Here are the few of the interest areas that that the children are able to participate in on a daily basis. And I just want to pause to let you know that although COVID is here, we make sure that everything is sanitized before a child goes to participate in another area. These two children, they were working independently, but I was called so that they can let me know that this is their ship. And one boy said, no, it's a houseboat. So they had a conversation, and they were actually able to tell me their own story. So it was definitely a aha moment, AHA moment. Okay. Next, we have the Discovery Center, and I would from just listening to the children, they said they were hunting for treasures and gold. We also have the Computer Center that the children are able to engage in. The young lady on your right or your left, I'm not quite sure. She asked me, what did I want for breakfast? I told her that I would like waffles, donuts, and cookies. And she said, that is not a healthy breakfast, Miss Raina. So I asked her, when I looked, I can't even remember what she bought me, but it wasn't what I asked for. Next, we have outside play, and I want you to all just sit back and think of an outdoor learning environment, classroom. That's what we have here at Warwick Preschool. So although you see the children on their bikes riding around, that's for the gross motor skills. Onto the playground, just picture 3 other areas, and they are set up like classrooms. So the teachers are able to go be outside and teach activities like Mighty Minutes, and that's a phonemic awareness program that goes along with the creative curriculum. They are able to have sand and water play outside. They're able to build blocks outside. They're able to be little inquirers, little scientists here at Warwick Preschool. Every Thursday, we actually go over to PAT Field, and the children engage in gross motor activities, okay? So on a Thursday at Warwick Preschool in particular, all the children rest because they're so tired. Even a few of the teachers, we don't sleep, but we rest when the children are resting. On Fridays, we have Fabulous Friday, and that's another exercise, fun activity that all the teachers and students participate in. Beyond the classroom, hopefully this will be able to be implemented in September. We have the children go to the fire station. We've had Career Day. We even have career people, post office workers. They come in and they can share their knowledge about the post office. Policemen, career workers come in and just share their knowledge with the students here at Warwick Preschool. Owls Pals on your left. It is such a fun, engaged puppet program, and it helps kids to make healthy choices. And again, it is research-based, and it's something that we work on doing at least 3 days a week here at Warwick Preschool. And it actually helps the children to be able to solve conflict amongst themselves. The next slide that you see, it's a phonemic awareness. It's called Haggerty. And it's just teaching children basic phonemic awareness sounds, literacy sounds, and it helps to just build on their prior knowledge. At any age, it's not too early for children to learn. So that's something that we work on here at WPS. At rest time, we have most times, like I said, Thursdays and Fridays, we have children that go to sleep. But during the week, we have sleepers and we have resters. At 2:30, around 2:25, we have wrap up by the teacher. She would do a read aloud or she would do a recap of the day's activity. And then it is time for dismissal. And it does our heart good to know that children do not want to go home at Warwick Preschool, though. So that's a good thing. As you can see, we have pajama day. This was last week. And this is our little friend saying goodbye to us. A plus here at Warwick Preschool, listening audience, is that we have a government-run after-school program that runs from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. You can get your vouchers actually from any post office. And we have 3 teachers on site. I am the supervisor this year of the program. And right now it's running smoothly. And we have at least 35 children here. And we are following the COVID protocols. We also have van services that come to the school as well. The school day does start at 8:30 and finishes at 3. We ask that all children get to in school by 8:45 because we go on lockdown. If you want to come to the school, you would have to, when you come to the entrance, you have to ring the bell, okay? And one thing I've always said over the 30 years, safety comes first. So we have everything is all, secluded. We have gates up and we make sure that your child is watched at all times. I look forward to having you all here on board with us at Warwick Preschool, and know that teaching and learning and education is a family affair. I'm leaving up some contact information for you. Feel free to call me at any time. My email address is there and also the school number. If you have any concerns about registration, you can call Jacqueline and Eve. But as she mentioned, the registration forms will go up on February 2nd, and that's when you will be able to do your registration, okay? I think we have, oh my, that was pretty good. It's 6:22. We have maybe a few minutes for questions. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all.
Miss Rayner, it's Lori Morby, the educational therapist.
Yes.
Hi, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say hi to everybody and just let you know what the educational therapy process looks like. And basically, we want you to know that also that in every preschool, there is a social emotional curriculum outside of the ALS PALS that is provided to each and every child, and some children require more interventions than others, but that we provide a weekly lesson with regard to social emotional learning, and that could be talking about sharing, talking about how we manage emotions. We talk about labeling feelings, and it goes to all of those sorts of things that, even we as adults sometimes have a hard time labeling. So, but we're in there every week giving lessons to the masses. So we serve, between the two of us, there's one in the sort of east and one in the west, and we serve all of the preschool students, but we also provide support for, parents and anyone who is in need of support with regard to social emotional concerns. And we just love being with your children and being able to interact with everyone. And I think the hardest part for me is learning everyone's names, because I have to learn 126 or 136 names every year.
Okay, thank you, Ms.
Which is a challenge, but I just wanted to say that we enjoy it so much, and it gives all of the children social emotional strategies for managing big emotions. And we're
Wonderful.
very
We
grateful
have
to the Department of Education for allowing us to do that.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Morby. And at orientation, you will learn a bit more if your child is enrolled. We do have a question here. It says, good evening. What is the student-teacher ratio? How large are the classes? So we are in the COVID protocol time. And so pre-COVID, it was 1-on-10. It may vary around the 1-on-10. So there would be one teacher and 10 children. This actually may be a little bit less depending on circumstances. So I'm just giving you that as a general guideline. Are there any more questions?
I have a question
regarding registration. Oh, yes, Ms. Fleming?
Hi. I had a question about the early morning program. I believe, or I've heard that you had offered at one point an early morning program. I know there's an after school program, and just wondering if that program still exists for early morning drop off.
Again, we're in the COVID protocol age. And so while we are operating with the school having been cleaned overnight, and we want to be able to have the school and the bubbles contained within the school without any crossover and mixover. So for now, we don't have early morning, but it's very possible that by orientation time, there'll be more information, and possibly we would have be able to start with the early morning program. Right now, as you know, we started school, we're in school, then we switched over quickly to being out of school remote. Now we're back in. And so we're really being quite cautious but flexible. And we have to adjust ourselves accordingly. So we're certainly hoping that in September, we can have the early morning program. So I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, thank you for asking. We have just a few more minutes, 1 or 2 questions, because we do have to move on to our last open house, and that is with St. Paul's. So at this time, I will ask Ms. Rayner, while we're transitioning, we'll still take a question, but if you would stop sharing, and we'll have Ms. Manuel begin sharing her screen.
It was 2 more questions, Ms. Bucci.
Yes, I'm not saying that we can't answer questions.
Okay.
But while we have one person transitioning, so Ms. Trott, would you facilitate those 2 questions while I ensure that Ms.
Sure, for you or Jackie, it says, can you register for multiple preschools in the event that you are unsuccessful with your first choice? So I don't know if you or Jackie, you or Ms. Eve would like to answer that.
I would like for her to answer that, because I'm
right.
going to be assisting Ms. Manuel to make sure that she can get on and do what she needs to do.
Okay, Ms. Eve. Ms. Eve?
Okay, I'll answer that.
I'm sorry.
Whether you
she's here.
Okay, there you go.
No, I was on mute. In regards to that, there are very few preschools that actually service more than one parish. But no, please do not submit duplicate applications. What I find is you then end up on 2 separate lists, and I'm avoiding you a spot if successful in 2 schools, which is very unfair. So submit one. If there is put your first choice down. So if you are applying, let's say for Smith's is by Lyceum and Devonshire. You can apply for both of those, one of those. If you write down 2, you will get into only one of them. And if and because what happens if it's oversubscription, then we can only choose one. And I basically do not give you a choice of which one you want. I don't call you up and say, which one do you want? We don't have time for that. Write down your first choice. If there happens to be availability in the second one, I may give you the option, but 9 times out of 10, in light of COVID, we have seen a greater number of applications coming. And I still have people on a wait list. So you will also be waitlisted. Do not get upset if you do not get a spot. If you do submit an application on time, you are placed on a waiting list. I do work through the course of the summer. And so if there's available placements, we will call you during that time.
Ms. Rena, what's the cost of the after school program? Real fast, we got 30 seconds left. I'm sorry. The cost of the
$25.
okay, parents, $25 for after school program if it's a government run program. Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good
Thank you.
evening, everyone. We are now transitioning to St.
Okay,
Paul's open house. Those that are not interested or not in the parish of St. Paul's, you may now leave. You have the contact information. The other bit that I would like to share is that some folks are not putting on their cameras and they're not leaving them on. This is a security measure, and we are not allowed to go against our protocol for these open houses. The camera must remain on, and you must have your name up. So if you've been admitted, you would have your name on and up. I'm going to stop the recording and I will start it again. So we'll just have a minute of transition, please. And we're recording now. Ms. Manuel, I will now turn the program over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to St. Paul's Preschool. We're very excited to have you here for our open house. A little different than usual, but we'll work with it. So St. Paul's Preschool is located in Paget in actually the church hall. It's called the Christian Education Center. We actually, the Bermuda government rents out the top floor of the church hall. Okay, I seem to be stuck. There we go. So there I am, Nancy Manuel. I'm the preschool administrator. I've been working in the Bermuda government preschools for 35 years. I've been an administrator for 25 years, and I absolutely love preschool. And funny enough, when I first came back from university, this is the first school that I worked at. So it feels like I came back home. I've been to several other preschools, but I'm back at my beloved St. Paul's. I have a wonderful staff. We're a small staff. And Lori Trott is our classroom teacher. Lori, would you like to say hello?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Lori Trott, as Ms. Manuel said, and also I started with Mrs. Manuel when I first became in preschool, and now I'm back with Mrs. Manuel. So we're kind of doing a family back circle again, and I enjoy preschool. I'm glad to be at St. Paul's. It's a smaller school. We get along really well. We have a more, how could I say, we're more cohesive and we just get along better. I like the smallness of the school. Paget is a lovely school. St. Paul is a lovely school. Your children will have a good time here. I enjoy looking, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you, and I hope you choose St. Paul's. We'll see you in September.
And then we have the lovely Mrs. Carla Mendez, who's a classroom teacher, and Carla is also our after-school care coordinator. Mrs. Mendez, Carla, would you like to say something?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I am Mrs. Mendez. I hope you do choose St. Paul's because we're a fabulous school. As mentioned before, we are a smaller school, but that makes us more close-knit, like a family here. We enjoy what we do. I enjoy coming to school every day. I have been teaching in this age group for over 20 years. I did originally start at Warwick Preschool, and it was an adjustment coming to a smaller school, but I do love it, and I am having so much fun with my children and with the staff as well. And I know they will have fun as well if they come here. So I hope to see you in September. Can't wait. And yes, I do also run the after school program. It is done privately. We are not government run. So the cost will be $50 for the week. The hours are from 3 to 5:30. Okay, during the week we do different activities. Monday we do fine motor. Tuesdays is arts and craft. Wednesday is our wellness day where we do exercise and deep breathing meditation. Thursdays we do music and movement, and Friday is our Friday fun day. So your children will be well taken care of and loved.
Thank you, Mrs. Mendez. This is Cindy Burgess. She is our COVID cleaner. She is up and down the stairs, wiping things down, making sure the classrooms are clean. She's sort of an unofficial teacher at the school because she absolutely adores the kids and just wants to be with them all the time. We're lucky to have her. And we have Miss Patricia Dill. She's our learning support teacher. We have any little challenges with getting someone to learn a concept, Miss Dill's right there to support us in every way. We also have Miss Lori Morby. I believe Miss Morby's online. And we also have Janaea Painter. Miss Morby is our educational therapist. She supports us with the social emotional health of the children. And also if there's any parents that are having some behavior challenges with their children, Mrs. Morby gives some amazing advice. We also have our school counselor, Mrs. Painter. We share her with Gilbert Institute. She comes every Thursday morning. And again, if you're having any kind of crisis, you know, we've had things where they've lost a beloved pet, or, you know, there's been a breakup in the family. Mrs. Painter will give your child coping strategies. She is a wonderful person, warm and well loved by all the children. She also works at Devonshire Preschool, so she gets a couple of mornings a week at preschool. We also have outside services that come in and help us. We have Mrs. Elrita Wade from the Department of Health. She's a speech and language pathologist. Your child's already receiving services. There'll be a nice smooth transition. And Ms. Wade will just go ahead and come on in and be working with your child. Also, if you have any worries about the way your child's pronouncing words, you can always speak to any of the teachers and we will go ahead and make sure that Ms. Wade has a look for you. We also have Akila Lapsley-Dyer. She's our occupational therapist. She does a lot of work with children on their fine motor development, you know, the way they're holding their pencil, that sort of things, helping to strengthen the muscles in their hands. This is our schedule. There's the schedule, I guess, on the right, which is the big schedule. And then this is the picture is a schedule that we keep on the children's desk because we want them to have ownership of their day. And so this is a little picture schedule for them so they know exactly where we are in our day. Don't need to worry about all of that right now and reading all of that because I'm sort of going to go through it with you. So a typical day at St. Paul's is the children arrive at the front of the building, they wear their masks, they come on in and they immediately wash their hands. Then they head up to the classroom. This is Mrs. Trott's classroom. We have big open classrooms. Mrs. Mendez's classroom, everyone giving a wave. And then they're going to go straight to their learning boxes. Each learning box is designed with your specific child in mind. The activities that are put into the learning box have been thought out by the teacher. They will change those activities out every Friday. The activities often reflect not only where the child is, but whatever unit of study we're doing. So after they have a little time with the learning boxes, we go straight into circle time. Mrs. Trott doing some music in their morning song, little sing-along. Mrs. Mendez, you can see the children are socially distanced in their hoops. I was in this lesson taking this picture, and Mrs. Mendez was pointing out that it was January, and one of our little guys, Josiah, his name begins with J, so that's why this is Josiah's in the white jacket. He's pointing out to the board that, yes, his name begins with J. So in government preschool, we use the creative curriculum. It's based on 75 years of research on the best ways that children develop and learn. So these are some of the things that the teacher will be looking at uh, while she is planning activities for your child. You don't need to worry about where your child is when they come to preschool. Wherever they are, we are going to take them and we are going to make sure that they learn and they grow. It doesn't matter if they're a high flyer, this curriculum allows for us to really push them. It's a really engaging curriculum. One of our studies, or investigations as we like to call them, that we're working on right now is what is a building? So this is just a little sample of one of the questions of the day. What is a building? It's where you buy things. One of the kids said was where you eat stuff. It's a restaurant. And one of them said it's like a hotel. As the study goes along, you'll find that the children's answers to the questions we ask become deeper and richer as they are reading books about the particular investigation. They're engaged in the investigation, they're experimenting, they're engaged in purposeful play. Here's some of the kids actually doing some activities. This is a piece of styrofoam and they're using golf tees to bang in. They're working on their fine motor skills, but they're also experimenting with hammers. And again, on the other side, they're using the trucks. They've got some sand, some little gravel and some sticks, and they're figuring out which trucks pick up which items the best. Here we are with the building study. We got a bunch of boxes from the grocery shop, and they were trying to build a very tall building and it kept falling down. If you notice, there's some yellow tape. They were trying to tape them together to keep them strong. And then they figured out that they could climb up on the actual bench to make a taller building. So it's very hands-on. They're experimenting all the time. Here we are with some more buildings. Some beautiful art of their buildings. Those architects are designing buildings, some more beautiful buildings. And we also have wow experiences where we invite people in who are experts in their profession. So this was one of the grandfathers and one of the gentlemen that worked with him. They brought in just about every construction tool you could imagine, from a level to a saw to a drill. They had pipes. They actually broke that piece of block and showed the kids how you break a piece of block in half, which was interesting to me because I'd never seen that. So we really try to give them experiences that they can relate to and remember. Then we have our delicious fruit time. And then we're going out for gross motor activities. We are fortunate at St. Paul's that we have a small but lovely playground, but we also have use of the hall in the church hall there, where we have a lovely storage room with lots of bikes, offering some different gross motor challenges for them. And then we have this big field. If you drive by, you might often see us running around on that big field, having fun with balls, hoops, playing soccer. It's also where we might hold sports day. Hopefully, if the COVID restrictions ease up, we will be able to do sports day. Then it's back inside and we're washing hands. We're washing hands several times a day. And then to have some lunch. And then after lunch, we have Owl's Pals. And Owl's Pals is a puppet-based curriculum. The children love Owl's Pals. When we say, oh, it's Owl's Pals today, they are so excited. It teaches them social emotional skills, how to manage their feelings, how to get along with others, use self-control, that's a big one. Accept differences in people, resolve conflict peacefully, how to cope when they're having those big feelings, and how to make healthy choices. And then we have a rest time. Some children sleep, some do not. We play music, we play stories for those that don't sleep. Some children are exhausted and some are not. It just depends on your particular child. Rest time is 1 hour. And then basically we do our daily roundup and then it's time to go home. So the children exit out the back or they head to after school care. Mrs. Mendez has mentioned already about after school care. So I don't need to go too much into that. I just wanted to share you just a couple more slides of some different studies that we've done, just so you really get the feel that everything is very hands-on in preschool. This is our tree study that we did back in October. It was perfect. We had lots of hurricanes, so lots of uprooted trees, and the children were very interested to talk about trees. Here they are gathering. Some of the children have magnifying glasses so they can also check out what's living on trees. Here they are gathering whatever they can find under the tree. We had some very big sticks coming into school. Here's one of our little friends doing an observational drawing of a tree, which is so wonderful because they're outside, they're drawing the trees, they're learning hand-eye coordination. He's very proud of his drawing. And then we also do a pet study, and this is another wow moment where we invite people in. A lot of the kids don't have pets, so having someone actually come in is just wonderful for them to experience a real live pet. You could see by the look on his face that he is pretty happy about that dog being at school. This was one of our students who was a little fearful at first, but you can see in the end, she was super happy. And then we also have a great relationship with the farm that's on the bicycle tracks behind Ice Queen a little further down. The Furtado family, they let us come every year when we're doing the pet study and visit with their goats, chickens, rabbits. What else do they have? Ducks. They have all sorts of animals there. And of course, having fun. Learning at preschool should be fun. And that's what we hope at St. Paul's, that we are teaching them, but they're having fun. So as you may have heard, registration will be online February 2nd to the 4th. The link will be posted on the Bermuda Public Schools Facebook page, or you can go onto the MOED's website. The link opens not until Friday the 2nd, so don't try to register before then. You got to complete the application and upload the supporting documentation. If you have any questions after this presentation's over, feel free to call me or email me. Please note that the school number is not the same as the school number in the telephone book. So if you want to, you can just snap a picture of this page right now with your phone if you're able to. Mrs. Eve, I'm not sure if Mrs. Eve is still online. She is the registration coordinator. And if anyone has any children with special needs, you can contact Mrs. Carmelita Trott. Her email and phone number are also posted on the page. I'd like to open it up. If anyone has any questions at this time, I'm happy to answer them.
Ms. Manuel, I just want to say my email is car like you're driving. If anybody, I don't know if anybody's writing it down, but
I am so sorry, Mrs.
It's
Trott.
okay, just in case somebody's trying to reach me, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. I will correct that. No question.
Is there early morning drop off available?
Unfortunately, not at this time. Just because of the COVID protocols, we're not able to offer that at this time. Perhaps, as Ms. Bucci said in another presentation, by orientation, we may know more, but at this time, no. Just after school care.
Okay, thank you.
Miss Manuel, there's a lovely comment I'd like to read. It says, I'm not too sure where it's from. It says, St. Paul's Preschool is such an awesome preschool. My oldest daughter attended during 2014-2015 preschool year, and she got such a solid foundation. Miss Manuel and her staff make the preschool experience so memorable and magical. I will forever be indebted to St. Paul's Preschool, and that is from Ms. Brown.
Oh, thank you so much, Ms. Brown.
Yeah,
So
if
that's
you're
a parent
for
testimony.
parents that are in Paget Parish, this is a blessing. This school is amazing. You will not be let down. This is a really awesome school. So I suggest you register.
Well, we have 27 people on board, and Miss
Sorry,
Edie.
Miss Bucci, I raised my hand online, but I'm raising it now because
I'm
I really
sorry.
didn't get a chance because I get to see these amazing little cherubs every week. As sorry, hi, I'm Lori Morby, the educational therapist, and we also as ETs provide social emotional lessons every week to the children in all the preschools. And I just want to say that Miss Manuel and her amazing staff, Miss Trott and Miss Mendez, are incredible, and the children are amazing, but we work on reinforcing the things that they're already doing, but in the terms of social emotional development. So, but I just want to say that this team of people are top notch, and I feel really blessed to work with them and all of the children that I've been able to work with since I've been with them. So I just want to thank you and thank them and thank the powers that be, Miss Bucci, Miss Trott, in terms of allowing a dedicated effort towards early intervention. So thank you so much.
Yes, and we have an administrator, another administrator that is on, that's Miss Joyens, and she was also a part of Miss Brown's daughter's journey. Back then, Miss Joyens and Miss Manuel were at the school with Miss Dyer, I believe. No, not Miss Dyer, just Miss Manuel, pardon?
It was Christina Painter at the time.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so it's kind of a bit of a reunion here this evening. All right, is there anything further? I'd like to thank you for joining our open houses and for all of our staff that joined in, all of the support staff, as well as our colleagues and other coordinators or administrators of other schools, our education officers, and we just want to thank you for having your cameras on. That was a very important security feature. And I must say that this has been the best group by far. I could actually watch some of what was going on. Unfortunately, if your camera wasn't on or if folks didn't have the camera on, they had to be removed. And that is the security protocol for all our open houses. So thank you.
I have
Ms. Trott. Oh, wait a minute. Ms. Trott has her email she's put up, and someone else has a question. Please go
Yes,
ahead.
I see most parents are asking how many spots does St. Paul's have?
Well, pre-COVID, we had 1 to 10, and so that would have given us 20 spots. We cannot commit to 20 spots based on the size and the COVID regulations and the spacing. So as we get closer to orientation and that would be in May sometime, then we'll have a better idea. But as you know, have to be completely flexible, and we have to adjust according to our safety protocols because of COVID. And in September, we don't know exactly where we will be. So where is the current number? It's under 20 currently. Okay, that's the cold hard truth. That's the COVID truth. And didn't want to burst anyone's bubble. But yeah, the spaces are limited at St. Paul's.
Everywhere.
Well, that's true.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. But we're thankful that you're on board, and Miss Eve had given advice to parents regarding registering in considering also keeping their registration open where their child may currently be, to register dually with the Bermuda Public Schools, and also in an alternative, just in case. Miss Eve, you want to expand on that, because you do such a great job of explaining and giving a bit of hope to those who may not get enrolled automatically.
Okay, I'm not too sure how many of you were on before, but good evening. You should submit the application does go live on midnight, February the 2nd. At that time, you submit your supporting documentation, which is a copy of your child's birth certificate and a copy of a Balco bill for verification of address. To register for St. Paul's, you must be a resident of Paget Parish. That is the only preschool, government preschool in that area. As Ms. Bushi stated, we are limited on spots. It is highly recommended that you possibly run your applications concurrently. Due to COVID, we have seen an increase in numbers. I still have, if it's any insight on what my numbers currently look like, I still have an waiting list for those persons who were planning to get in last September. And that is for all of my schools. So that is across the board. We continue to have a waiting list. Parents call me on a daily basis looking for spots. Okay, so I do not want to turn anybody away, but I also would not like for you to it be August and you do not have a spot. So secure the spots in both public and private, and then it's up to you that if you do secure a spot, you can always give up the respective spot that you do not want. The children have to be fully toilet trained, and it is highly recommended that they also complete their 2-year-old screening with the Child Development Program. Is it anything else? I don't think it's anything else. I think that's about it.
I think you covered it all. And Ms. Morby has her hand up. I'm not too sure if it's from previously or if she has something. Okay, sorry, Ms. Morby.
And yes, I did. Yes, and I did have to turn away parents from Paget last year. Yes.
Okay, and
although I do have a question.
Okay.
When you were talking about toilet training, if as a prerequisite, can you define that a bit more, Ms. Bucci? Because we know that if kids have other issues, there may be other things that are involved with that.
Yes, Ms. Trott actually works with us on any children with special needs that are transitioning in. And as Ms. Eve always says, if your child has a special need, please indicate it in the application form. And if you can identify what that special need is, sometimes children come in with a diagnosis, and you may be already working with the Child Development Program and given consent for them to share information about your child, then there will be, that will be one way to facilitate knowing about children who have challenges. We do from time to time have children that have medical reasons for not being fully toilet trained. And so that is an area that we investigate with you. Ms. Trott will be the one that assists you in transitioning. We also have children who are developmentally delayed. They may have global developmentally delay or some other issues that are going on, and have a reason that they are not yet ready to be toilet trained. But most children by the age of 3 and 4, typically developing children, should be easily toilet trained with consistency and support. There are many videos online. There's also the Child Development Program. It should be a fun experience. There are lots of books that you can read to your child. Right now, because we are in January, there are some children that are probably hitting or missing it. But as the months warm up, you will find it a lot easier for your child to be fully toilet trained before coming. And we do ask that you're accurate, because we have had instances where children are not toilet trained and they're coming in pull-ups. And for the regular preschool, we may have to have a conversation with you, and you may be disappointed at the outcome. So please be encouraged. There's lots of help out there for you, Child Development Program and videos, and you can even call the classroom teacher, the school administrators, and they can give you some support. There is a lot of help out there. What I do find, and what parents have shared with me, is that sometimes the daycare that they are in does not take on potty training with them. And so it's an inconsistent message with the children, and they still say, send the Pampers. And of course, that's easy on anyone to just kind of, keep them in Pampers and just not go through that extra bit of work, especially when you have more than one child that you're training. But if you can have them cooperate with you, it should be easy going.
Thank you very much for that clarification, Mrs. Bucci.
Yes, you're welcome. So there are some questions or comments. Ms. Trott, have you been keeping an eye on these?
Yes, somebody wanted to know if they can rewatch it. Yes, I'll let Nancy answer that. You want to answer that, Ms. Manuel? Sorry.
Sure, it will be on the YouTube channel on Bermuda Public Schools. So all you have to do is click on St. Paul's and you'll be able to watch it. You can watch any of the preschool open houses on the YouTube channel. Just a little tip: if you're in one of those parishes where you're able to go to more than one school or register at more than one school, there's very few of those, but you can watch it definitely on the YouTube channel.
And Ms. Eve, do you want to just say that it's not, everybody don't rush on at 12:01 if they want to go to sleep, because it's not a first come, first serve basis. I think some people are ready for 12:01. Can you just say that again? Thank you.
Yes, so just to reiterate that it is not first come, first serve. So yes, as Ms. Trott said, do not rush on, don't bombard the system all at one time. But please get them in on a timely basis, because I am strict on making sure those deadlines come. And now that we are automated, I don't have to have any of the administrators putting a stamp on it and trying to justify when the application was submitted, because now it is date and time stamped. So we are very clear with that, and we will it will stay open after the 4th. But those applications will not be looked at. They will be sectioned off from the rest of the applicants.
That's it, Ms. Bucci. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone. Ms. Manuel, would you like to have some closing remarks?
Yes, thank you all for coming. Like I said, please feel free to reach out to me, give a call, send me an email if you think of any questions, because often after these presentations, you think I should have asked that. So feel free to give us a call. It's no problem at all. And look forward to seeing all of you at orientation.